Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And you know, when we would like to get updates for anything happening in Lafourche, best person to ask, Archie Chesson, Lafourche Parish President. Archie, thanks again for joining us.
Keith, always a pleasure to be with you.
We appreciate it. I know this oil spill has kind of taken us all by surprise, but I got to tell you, you guys have not only worked very diligently and quickly, but very transparent about everything that's happening down there. Give us an update if you don't mind, Archie.
Yeah, Keith, that was kind of the idea from the get-go, right? Whether we're talking about the pandemic, a hurricane, all the fun stuff we visited about over the years, but this is something that we never thought we'd have to deal with, and something that we knew from the beginning that we were going to have to be very open about, right? Brought back a lot of memories of BP for a lot of people, and while they're completely different scenarios, we wanted to get out there in front of it and really get as open to the public as we can. Because look, Bayou Lafourche is not only culturally sensitive for us, from people who use it all day long, but it is our drinking water source. And
right.
It's a good place to begin. Drinking water is still safe. As we noted the last couple of days, LDH was in the plant taking some samples. We have gotten all of those samples back finally. And of course, as we thought, there were no issues outside the plant in the bayou, inside the reservoir, or inside the plant themselves. So probably about an hour or so ago, Lafourche Parish Water District number 1, issued a notice rescinding their conservation order. So people can go back to using water like they please. And actually, in talking with Wayne and Jared over the plant, people actually listened. They saw water usage in the plant drop, which was a good thing. People heeded the warnings just in case something weird were to happen. But now you can go back to using water as you need to. We really don't need to water our lawns after all the rain, but if you had to, now's the time to go ahead and do it. But not a whole lot of new updates, still 6,000 feet of boom out in the bayou, over 100 people, on vessels, 28, 29 vessels in the bayou working, trying to pick up the last few pockets of oil. And now we're really back into that planning stage to figure out, how do we continue to flush that vegetation? How do we continue to flush the ditch and the culvert out around the facility itself in Raceland, and get rid of that last residual sets of oil? I have a really good feeling this weekend that's going to be the point where we're going to get to, and you're going to see a lot of the vessels start to demob off of the bayou. And of course, some will stay. We know as it rains, as we continue those flushing operations, we're going to have some residual oil come back out of that vegetation. Some of it's probably going to have to be cut and removed, and we'll deal with that. When those SCAT teams, those shoreline assessment teams come back, those operations are going to start tomorrow and Friday in the early daylight hours. So it's kind of cooler for them digging around in those plants and that brush, but that'll continue over the weekend. And then I think we get into a maintenance period at some point toward the end of next week where, there'll still be some boom in the bayou. There'll still be some people kind of picking up little bits of stuff, but we're just going to have to wait for Mother Nature to take its course and let the bayou flush itself. But, still continue to do some air monitoring. We're going to set some air monitoring up around Central Lafourche High School for the kids that are going to school next week, just to make sure that there are no issues as we get into kind of a maintenance period there. We have roaming air monitors both on the bayou and people walking around with them, on the banks, kind of picking up things. Still no issues there, no recordable limits, not picking up any issues with benzene or any of those VOCs that we thought we would see in the beginning days. So again, good air, good water. And hopefully going to have some smooth water on the top over the course of the next few days once those bigger vessels get out of here.
Well, and interestingly enough, I love the fact that we were able to really count and measure and see to only impact 17 aquatic animals is remarkable for that volume of oil.
Yeah, and most of those were in the ditch leading up to the plant and in that culvert. We had zero real issues on the bayou. Still working with wildlife fisheries on that fish kill, but we're pretty sure it was that boat and barge that came through. And not anything to do with the spill, because the oil never really made it into the company canal. It stayed pretty well. The few slugs that got past us in Lockport made its way down by Lafourche and never diverted off. So we really don't think there's an issue there. But again, I want to say that the company's been really great to work with. The unified campaign group we have here with EPA, the Oil Spill Coordinator's Office, and all of the partner agencies that have been here, from State Police Hazmat to GOSEP to DEQ to LDNAR. In Baton Rouge have been great to work with, and anything we've asked for, they've put up knowing what a culturally sensitive issue this was and a drinking water issue for us. So, again, I think we're going to start to wind down some really heavy operations toward the end of the weekend and the next week, and then we'll be more into a maintenance period. So we're in a really good spot. They've made a lot of progress. When I get done with you guys walking back to the EOC to look at some pictures from a recent overflight they did earlier this morning, and then I'll probably get back up in the air again tomorrow or Friday and really look at the progress. So really good work happening. Really proud of the team, not only that we have, but all the partner agencies. It's really been a jewel to work with, and I think a lot of the reason we got to it this fast was because of how quickly everybody responded and the pace at which we acted.
Well, and again, we echo that all the time, Archie. We talk about it sometimes at nauseum, about sometimes when you're partnering with people, there's a reason. And you partner with people because we can get mobilized very quickly. I mean, to your point, everybody got in motion very, very quickly. No red tape to go through, and we started making changes and impacts immediately.
Yeah, and I mentioned this the other day, Ken, but, Crescent Midstream has been a great company. We knew these people going into before the spill because we worked with them on community projects. We've met with them about projects that they were doing inside their facility. And we went to school with a few of the guys, I did, who work in the plant. So, walking in that was very easy to say, all right, guys, this is what we're doing. This is what we got to do. And of course, all the partner agencies across the state, we know very well. We have worked with in the past from other spills. And I got to say, ES&H and Forefront is a locally owned, the locally employed company. They've been really great to work with as well. We have contracts with them ourselves to do spills and stuff across the parish. So they've been really great to work with. Again, that Unified Command Group has been really good. And, we can get mad at each other. Tempers are going to flare over the next couple of days as we really start to get tired of, and, the heat reacts to people. But we're all friends at the end of the day. And again, it's just been a great experience and something that I think is going to pay dividends to no long-term effects in the Bayou.
Yeah, well, we talk about all the time the preparations that we do for all of these events, the preparations for storms, preparation for catastrophes that we can't predict. You guys, this has been another one of those tests that we've been able to show and prove that works very, very well. And so it's one of those things that has become a negative, become a positive very, very quickly.
Yeah, but I got to say, Ken, I'm getting tired of these tests. So hope I get the break here pretty soon.
It'd be nice when you're good at something and not have to keep getting tested. Archie, we always appreciate your time and certainly appreciate the updates. Thank you again.
Thanks, Keith. Good seeing you.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on HTV.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.